Shalom. It's the brother Azariah back again with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rachaha Kadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, their great millstone, peace and blessings to the sincere believers, the hopeful elect. So back with another lesson of the freight train of prophecy, episode 25, to demonstrate through the testimony of the law and the prophets that all that is written therein is faithful and true. That what is going on in the world today, it all directly ties back to biblical prophecy, and that this indeed is the end of this world, this current age. All right. So I want to start off here with this video from Full Spectrum Survival, and he's like a doomsday prepper kind of guy. You know, he's big on prepping for the worst case scenario. But see, the thing, they obviously, because the Lord is not dealing with them, they don't seem to understand that there is no prepping that you can do to prepare yourself for what's coming. Buying up years worth of food, getting guns and ammo and things of that nature, that's not going to save you, man. It's not going to save you. It's not going to protect you from the evil that's going to come. The scriptures clearly tell you in 2nd Ezra 16, I believe, that they that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. So yeah, you can have all the food in the world, you can have all the guns and ammo in the world. If the Lord ain't dealing with you when all hell breaks loose, you ain't gonna make it. So yeah, you can have your food stored up, but guess what? That's not no guarantee. You can have guns and ammo. That's not a guarantee. Because you can have that food. So on paper you might be good for a little while. Okay, yeah, I got X amount of food, I can be okay. But guess what? If you escape that hunger, the sword is gonna get you. Which means what? Somebody gonna come and take what you got. Somebody gonna come and take what you have, man, and put you to death. You see? And the Lord can put a spirit on anything or anybody to exact vengeance and judgment on you if you ain't right. And we clearly know that the Lord did set people up like this to be a worldly watchman, if you will, because you have the spiritual watchmen, which are the men of the Lord, but then you also have, the Lord put the spirit on worldly people as well to warn everybody else, because, majority of people is not going to listen to us. Let's just call it what it is, man, because we're coming with a doctrine that is not of this world. But when guys like Full Spectrum Survival come out and tell people to prepare for the worst case scenario, majority of people will listen, because this is a world friendly message. This is a carnal message, first and foremost, but we telling our people to prepare for what is coming in the spirit, to get right with Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, to come out this world spiritually, okay, to come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability, walking in righteousness, believing upon our Lord Yahweh Shai, as the scriptures have said, and not teaching, bugged out doctrines, okay, staying on that straight and narrow path. So, we are in some dangerous times, these are the most dangerous of times. And the thing is, people ain't seen nothing yet. People have not seen terror yet. People have not experienced true fear. But that's what's about to come back in the earth big time in these days. So let me go ahead and play a short portion of this video, just so you can see that people well know that the times we're in, there is no going back. But some people still have hope that, somehow America can bounce back, that we can negotiate, but that's a very small percentage of people. Majority of people realize, hey, look, man, this world is done. Like, this world is pretty much through. So this is fair use, to edify all those that are watching. And without further ado, let's get into it.
Good afternoon, everyone. Full Spectrum Survival here again, bringing you some emergency information from NATO leaders, each one of them saying that their countries that they represent must be prepared for a global conflict. They're downright telling the individuals, the civilians across these countries, to go get food, stock up on water, get weapons, get ammunition. Look at what's happening in Israel, even though they're not a part of what's happening in Europe. They are handing out weapons to their citizens, saying it might be you that is ready to fight the coming war. We do have a global conflict taking place right now, and let me bring to you some of this information. A top NATO military officer has now urged all allies and the leaders of those countries to plan for the unexpected. This is a quote: "We need public and private actors to change their mindset for an era in which everything was plannable, foreseeable, controllable, and focused on efficiency to an era in which anything can happen at any time."
And this is what we telling you Israelites, okay? We telling you that, look, peace and safety is not guaranteed day to day. As a matter of fact, the scriptures say in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, that when they shall say peace and safety, then what? Sudden destruction shall come upon them as travail upon a woman with child. So we are not in a time of peace. This is a time of war, clearly. And the way to escape the evils coming upon the earth is through Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. That's the only way. Because see, guys like this, he gonna get done in. As prepared as he may be, as wise and as knowledgeable as he may be. Now, I will say this, he'll be a lot better off than majority of people when, you know, the ish does hit the fan. But I'm not sure if, you know, he's I don't know what he believes in, but, you know, bottom line, if you ain't calling on the names of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, you're gonna be missile food, or you're gonna be food for somebody else. Okay, because we coming into a time where cannibalism is about to come back into the picture. We're coming into a time where people gonna be eating their pets, you know, people gonna be eating their children, because there's gonna be a famine, you know, and we'll get into that, because, you know, the judgment that the Lord is gonna bring on the earth. And that's, you know, just a quick sidebar. That's another thing. You know, you got people out here advocating to buy land and set up a farm and raise animals. Now, you know, I'm not saying that you're wicked if you're advocating for that, but you have to understand, none of this is going to save you. You really have to understand what's about to happen on the earth. The Lord is bringing judgment to the earth. So yeah, let's say that you do get a farm, right? And you got cattle, you got sheep, you know, you got livestock and things of that nature, like you growing crops. What's going to happen when the Lord starts flooding out certain parts of the earth? What's going to happen when there's severe drought in certain areas? What's going to happen when a supply chain breaks down and you can't afford to feed your flocks? What's going to happen then? So I say that to say that a carnal solution is not the answer to your problem that's going to happen, man. Okay, it's Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. All right. Look, the Lord, if you trust and believe in him, the Lord going to take care of you. All right, the scriptures say that my servants shall eat. You know, and the Lord said that we're going to laugh when these people's calamity come. That's what kind of spirit that we're going to be in, because we trust and believe upon the Lord. See, we don't trust in anything carnal, because we understand carnality cannot save us. You know, it may do you good for a short amount of time, you know, for a little season, but eventually that's not going to be your saving grace, you see, because everything is going to stop, man. Once these wars pop off, you're not even going to be able to farm in peace. Esau going to come in and you know, if you got farm or certain possessions, he going to take it from you, or he going to burn it down, you see. So you can either try to defend it or die trying, but the latter is most likely going to be the case. Okay, you're going to die trying to protect what you got, you know, and in that case, you really died in vain, you know, because you did not trust in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. But let's continue.
An era in which we need to expect the unexpected. Now, I want you to pay attention to the fact that they're not saying for a couple of months. They're not saying during this critical time of uncertainty. No, they're saying an entire era. And this lines up with what we're seeing from the Bank of Canada, some of the banks in UK, telling the governments of those regions that this is going to be a 5-year global economic reset, and we're going to see a whole bunch of global economic problems that are tied right in with conflicts and wars. In order to be effective, they say, also in the future, we need a war-fighting transformation. At a meeting, they saw over 30 different military brass, the chair of the NATO Military Committee, an admiral there. They said that what's happening right now across Europe is a fear of democracy. Today, he said, is the day in which Russia thought they would see a 3-day war. Ukraine will have NATO's support for every day that is to come, because the outcome of this war will determine the fate of the world. This war has...
And this war that's coming, this is the war. This is the last war. This is the war to end all wars, World War III, the third woe, as the scriptures describe. But what do the Bible say about these times? 2 Ezra chapter 9 and verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. And clearly the Lord is visiting the world that he made. He's causing all kind of confusion, calamity, natural disasters that's going on all over the earth. You know, people rising up against the governments, the government against the people, unrighteous decrees coming down. Okay, so this world is in a chaotic state. And this is only the beginning of sorrows. People ain't seen nothing yet. And if people crying and mourning now, how much more when the food is gone? How much more when they actually move in hardcore to implement this NWO? Well, you're really going to own nothing. You know, you're not going to be able to buy and sell unless you have that mark, which is the rice grain RFID micro C-hip. You're going to be outside of society if you don't play ball with the beast. This is the time that we in. And the men of the Lord, the watchmen, are here to tell you that if you ain't right, you're going to get left. Okay? Reading on. Verse 3, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. Okay, so this end, the end of the rulership of the heathen. Okay, the end of the age of the Gentiles is manifest right before us. And again, okay, people like this can't quite seem to wrap their mind around why these things are happening, you know. But you know what? They all gonna realize very soon, because when certain things come down the pike, they gonna realize, well, damn, you know, the Bible was true. You know, the Bible is the truth, and the Most High is gonna put the Spirit on, you know, certain high-profile people to proclaim these things, man. All right. But first and foremost, you got the men of the Lord, the prophets, proclaiming these things, you see. But trust and believe, in due time, people going to realize what this really all goes back to. Because there's not going to be an explanation to explain away the events taking place in the earth. Okay, we are living in unprecedented times. Every day is something popping off. Since January 1st, 2024, every day it's been something major happening. Look at what's going on in the so-called Middle East. Tensions continue to rise over there. Then you got a North Korea, South Korea war brewing. What's going on with Taiwan and the South China Sea? You got Ukraine, NATO, Israel, Gaza. What's going on over there in Iran and Iraq and Yemen, Saudi Arabia, the BRICS nations coming together. So this is the time of the end. So what manner of person should you be knowing these things? Well, you should be a person that's inclined to prophecy. You should be a person that's inclined to doing the will of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And if you're outside of that, you're going to be destroyed. Let's move on here. This is from the People's Voice.tv. It says American leaders sign WEF treaty to ration meat, electricity, and gas. So again, the scriptures speak about a famine. It speaks about perilous times. This is the time that we're in. We are here. All right, these things are not coming. It's already here. 2024 is the year that the WEF, they about to really jump off this agenda hardcore. Just you wait and see. It says here, unfortunately, the Polish people were not laughing at that time, and we won't be laughing either. In the near future, if the global elite are allowed to continue destroying our rights and freedoms and replacing them with their techno-communist vision of a total technocratic control, the evil plot against humanity has been in the work for years, and now we are seeing the first signs play out before our eyes. Before we dive in, okay, Salakia, it says the global elite have successfully penetrated the cabinets of Western democracies. This is why you're seeing, such as in Argentina, Javier Milei, he's a WEF puppet. You know, he's pretty much peeling back all of the benefits that the citizens were getting in Argentina before he came in. You know, he's peeling back retirement. He's raising the retirement age. He's making it harder to get health care and things of that nature. You know, he's increasing inflation. And you're seeing the same thing happen in the whole of the Western world. So they have penetrated these Western cabinets, man. This is why the same agenda is being pushed in Canada, in America. Okay? It's being pushed in Mexico, you know, South American countries, you see? It's being pushed in Europe hardcore. It's not a coincidence. Ushering in an era of disastrous policies that are destroying the economy from the inside out and stroking unprecedented division in society. And what is this all leading to? This is leading to a point where this system is pretty much done. The way that things have been run for the past 100 or so years, this is being phased out in favor of a completely authoritarian digital technocracy, okay, in which you're gonna have to be plugged into the beast system directly in order to receive benefits. Okay, why you think so many jobs are being lost right now? You got UPS laying off tens of thousands, 15,000 workers, right? In the tech sector, Google, different cybersecurity fields. People are being laid off in the hundreds of thousands. Why? Because when people lose their job, it's a domino effect. You can't provide for your family. You can't, eat. You can't even enjoy leisure time. And they don't want that for you. They want you to catch hell so that eventually you will beg them for their solution. Universal basic income. Eating bugs, okay, in the form of impossible meats. And drinking synthetic water, okay, injecting, having to get injections with all kind of synthetic material that are not natural and good for your body. See, this is what these people are doing. And who does this all go back to? This goes back to the wicked, which the Bible speaks of, which is Esau, Edom, chiefly the tribe of Amalek, which are the JOO people, okay, the so-called white man, starting with their elites. This is who these things go back to, okay. The next phase of the global elite's plan involves penetrating the universities and the high earners, and it appears the highest earners in our society have already taken their 30 pieces of silver and sold their souls to the devil. Yeah, a lot of people have sold out, you got the old saying that go, hey, if you can't beat them, join them. You know what I'm saying? Check this out here. It says 77% of higher income Americans overall and almost 90% of those from top universities agree with the WEF and support the plan to strictly ration gas, meat, and electricity in America to combat climate change. And look, listen, you can't make this up. You know, I did a sit down lesson just the other day going into the people that are in these universities, that are in these colleges, you know, so-called higher education, right? They brainwashed, okay? You not being sent there to get an education. You're being sent there to be indoctrinated. This is why it says overall, in almost 90% of those from top universities, okay, which would mean that they're college educated, support this WEF plan to ration gas, meat, and electricity. And it's all in the name of combating what? Climate change. But this whole climate change narrative is primarily being pushed hardcore in these universities, you know, to make people believe that, oh, the earth is warming up because of you know, carbon emissions and, you know, animals, you know, defecating and, you know, just living a normal life, okay? You're the problem as to why climate change is going on. This is why they want to knock off 7.5 billion people off the planet, okay? Because by deleting you, okay, now we can save the earth, you know? And in Canada, Trudeau, he's actually advocating for people to off themselves if they're too stressed out. You know, there's actually programs in Canada set up for people to go and euthanize themselves if they don't feel like life is worth living anymore. Which, who caused that problem? Why do people feel like they need to off themselves, or they're so stressed out to where they don't see a point to live no more? Well, it all goes back to the wicked. All right? It all goes back to the wicked, man. And this is an unrighteous decree. Isaiah 10:1, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and right grievousness which they have prescribed. You see? And also another precept to that, Isaiah 5:20. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. And this is indeed what these devils have done. You see? They have put, you know, they have called good evil and evil good. Okay? They're telling you, you don't need to eat real meat. You don't need to have natural gas and electricity. We need to cut back on these things because it's good for the environment. It's good for the planet that you use less or that you have nothing. You see? You know, these are the wiles of the devil. You see? Verse 21, woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes and prudent in their own sight. Which that goes back to Esau, Edom. Okay, and all those that have the same mindset as Esau. All right. It says here, in fact, nearly 60% of such people believe that there's too much liberty, too much freedom in America, even though, objectively speaking, we are less free than ever before. In case you're wondering what real people think about the idea of rationing gas, meat, and electricity and handing over more rights and freedoms to the global elite, 63% of Americans, the vast majority, oppose the above rationing policy. But guess what? It doesn't matter. Okay, then, and this is why the scriptures speak of seditions among men. Okay, in 2nd Ezra the 15th chapter, that they're not going to regard their kings nor princes. Because you really think when they do, because look, they already signed off on it. So you really think when these things get put into place that people are gonna just lay down like that? No. Everybody is not gonna lay down to this agenda. People are gonna realize what's going on, and they're gonna rise up against their leaders. See, they're gonna you know, take matters into their own hands. Okay? That's exactly what they're gonna do. Matter of fact, let me get that real quick. 2nd Ezra 15. And 14, it says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So yeah, they're going to do what they want to do, because they see that their leaders are not trustworthy, that they're not set up to benefit the people. So why would you listen to them? Why would you continue to take orders and abide by their mandates when their mandates are wicked and against your quality of life? To hell with that. Another civil war is coming, see? 5.1 magnitude earthquake hits Oklahoma yesterday. And this is a theme that's increasing regularly. Okay, the Lord is increasing the judgment in the earth, man. All right. January 1st, you had how many earthquakes pop off? You had the big one in Japan. I think it was what, a 7.5 or something like that. You know? But look, then you had in Iceland, that volcano just erupted like last week, and it's about to erupt again. So these are the signs of the times. You know, you go to Luke 21, it talks about that. You know, signs in the sun, the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth, distress of nations with perplexity. This is what you're seeing. All right, let's play this.
Late last night, a 5.1 earthquake struck Oklahoma. An account on X was streaming the rain live when the room began shaking.
Yo, we're having an earthquake. We're having an earthquake.
The USGS recorded the earthquake about 5 miles northwest of Prague.
Let's go here again, okay? Because another storm, a big storm, as a matter of fact, is about to hit California, and this is another mass judgment being carried out by Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. Okay.
Why is no one talking about the fact that California is about to be hit with more rain than there is water in the Mississippi River? If you don't believe me, just check out any local news article. These two storms are called the Pineapple Express, and one of them is a winter storm. California will be hit with 27 times more water than the entire Mississippi, as the Golden State is hit by rain, snow, and heavy winds. This is said to start tomorrow, and it is supposed to be a very, very treacherous downpour of water that is just going to hit the coast nonstop. Here is what that storm looks like if you see the water literally turning. This is called an atmospheric river, and it is snow and water at the same time. While some of us will be getting very, very heavy snow, the other part of the earth will be catching this arc storm, which is short for atmospheric river, and literally living out of the book of Enoch. One thing that every news article is making very clear is that this aquatic atmospheric river storm, arc storm, whatever, will have a lot of casualties, and they are urging California residents to take heed and prepare as best as possible. I don't know how you prepare for a mini deluge other than get an ark. I really don't know. But if you are unfamiliar about the actual story of Noah's Ark or the Great Deluge, you need to understand that in the book of Enoch, all of this is biblical reference to what.
Yeah, she going off into the book of Enoch, you know, but when you go to the comments, you know, you see what people saying. It says, we good out here, but we love from California. Okay. I was told God promised to never flood the earth. Again, the rainbow is a symbol of that promise. Yeah, and that's true. You know, of course, they've taken the rainbow symbol and they perverted it into something wicked for them alphabet people. But yeah, you know, the Lord did give the rainbow as a sign that He would never flood the whole of the earth again. Okay. So yeah, indeed, the Lord is not going to flood the whole of the earth, but the Lord never said that He wouldn't flood certain parts of the earth. You see? So yeah, that rainbow covenant still stand, man. You know, it just means that He's not going to flood the whole of the earth, but yeah, certain parts of the earth will be flooded out. You see? Yeah, you know, so you got people, you know, different perspectives, you know, in the comments. But nonetheless, man, you know, the point is, the Lord is increasing judgment within the earth. You see. Let me go here to this article. Okay, it says here, this from Daily Mail. Sydney, Brisbane, Melbourne, Perth weather. Blistering heat wave scorches the country as one state braces for a trifecta of wild weather, including another cyclone. Okay, and if you've been paying attention to Australia over the past couple of years, then you know that Australia is definitely under heavy judgment. All right, millions of Aussies have been urged to stay out of the heat. Experts unsure if cyclone will hit land. It says a blistering heat wave is about to hit the country, with millions of Aussies being warned to seek shelter, while one state prepares for disastrous weather, including another cyclone. Parts of the ACT, NSW, South Australia, and Victoria are expected to reach 40 degrees Celsius on Sunday, which I think that's 104 degrees Fahrenheit. You see? The same weather was experienced by Western Australians last week. Queensland is facing a trifecta of wild weather with severe flooding in the state's northwest, heat wave conditions in the southeast, and another tropical cyclone possibly forming in the Coral Sea, making it the third one of the season. Sydney is expected to have temperatures rise, with its western suburbs such as Parramatta and Penrith to hit 39 degrees Celsius. So these are some pretty high temperatures and wild weather that they got going on. Okay. It says, meanwhile, the temperature in Melbourne will reach 37 degrees Celsius, and people in Adelaide will feel a top of 36 degrees. It's not just the capital cities feeling the heat, as the regions are set for soaring temperatures, with the conditions peaking on Sunday. Renmark in South Australia's east will be a whopping 44 degrees Celsius. Damn. So that's like damn near 120 degrees. While Mildura in Victoria's west will hit a maximum of 43 degrees Celsius. So the Lord speaks about the plagues being sent, right? The Lord speaks about the plagues being sent upon the earth. And we'll go here, 2nd Ezra 15 and 10. It says, behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before. Okay, this is how you know that this is not talking about ancient Egypt, because it says, and smite Egypt with plagues as before. So the Egypt that's about to be smitten with the plagues is basically this modern day beast system, okay, which the head of it is America. This is why you're seeing really the whole world is under judgment, but these Western nations, Australia, America, Canada, you know what I'm saying, Europe, South American countries is getting jacked up by Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, but mainly, America, NATO, European Union members. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that Yahweh Bashim Yahushua shall bring upon it. You see? Verse 14, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Okay? And let me jump to 2nd Ezra 16 as well. 2nd Ezra 16 and 5, it says, plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? May any man drive away an hungry lion in the wood, or may anyone quench the fire in stubble when it hath begun to burn? And Yahushua said, what? Behold, I come with fire, and what will I if it already be kindled? Okay, the fire, both literally and figuratively, is kindled on the earth. Okay, you got a lot of places around the earth right now that's burning, massive wildfires that are raging, and no doubt, when this big heat wave come to Australia, it's going to be a lot of forests burning up. Okay, so the fire is already kindled, man. The Lord is already making his move. You know what I'm saying? Making major moves in the earth. Verse 7. May one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer? The mighty Lord sendeth the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away? A fire shall go forth from his wrath, and who is he that may quench it? He shall cast lightnings, and who shall not fear? He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid? The Lord shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence? The earth quaketh, and the foundations thereof. The sea ariseth up with the waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled, and the fishes thereof also before the Lord, and before the glory of his power. So these all entail the plagues of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And when you go to Matthew chapter 24, when the disciples asked of Yahushua, what are the things that we have to look forward to of the end of this age? And this is Matthew 24 and 3, and it says, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming, and of the end of the world? And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying that I am Hamashiach, or I am the Messiah, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars, and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. And we're seeing all these things. But the point is, verse 8, all these are the beginning of sorrows. So all what you're seeing happen around the earth, man, this is the beginning of sorrows, man. Okay? The birth pains increasing and intensifying. You see? And it's, and it's all over the earth that judgment is going down. You see, but people don't have the spiritual discernment to know. Look at this. You see? This is in Australia. Okay, flooded out. You know what I'm saying? Infrastructure being destroyed, people losing jobs, losing their homes. You see? So they call Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, man, that we are living in the days and times, that we've that we are blessed and fortunate enough to witness the downfall of our enemies. And Lord willing, we be of that hopefully elect number that will receive salvation at the end of all of this. That's what we strive for. That's what we doing this work for, man, to receive salvation, that we may inherit the kingdom of heaven, which is the ultimate prize, to receive crowns on our head by our Lord Yahushua and be those first fruits to walk into the kingdom. Check this out, man. Senior BBC employee branded white people, or should I say so-called white people, because there is no such thing as a white person. Okay? Just like there's no such thing as a black person. All right, I've never seen a person that's the color of a white BMW. You see, I've never seen a person the color of a black Acura. You know what I'm saying? Just to put it in layman's terms. See, so it's so-called white. Really, they're red because their blood show forth through their skin. Okay? And so-called black people are actually brown. Okay? Different shades of brown. So we got to get that correct. But so-called white people, or Edomites, a parasitical, deviant breed. And look, the whole world is seeing these people for who they really are. Okay? The whole world is seeing pretty much the veil has been pulled back, because for centuries the so-called white man, he was able to do all this dirt, sweep things under the rug, hide what he's done. Okay, but now in this age, a lot of information is coming out, knowledge has greatly increased, people can research things now, and they can see that the track record of the so-called white man is nothing but evil. It's nothing but wickedness that these people have done on the planet Earth. Okay, the earth is in the state that it's in because of these Edomites. Okay, that's why, and they being called out. And let me get this scripture. Let me get this scripture real quick. This is 2 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 3. It says, "Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition," perdition that goes into destruction, "who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God." Now, who opposes and exalts himself above all that is called God? Well, that would be none other than the so-called white man, the Edomite. Okay, everything that the Most High has set up in order, the white man is against. Okay, the Lord set up a man and a woman to come together and bring forth life. Esau says, no, 2 men can come together. You know, that's okay. 2 women can come together. Okay, now a man can get pregnant. You see, now I can actually turn a man into a woman and vice versa through the use of hormone replacement therapy. Okay, and these people are actually protected by law. You can't speak against these people. You can't shame these people. You can't call them out for their wickedness. You see, because they're protected under, you know, so-called civil rights. You see, this man is polluting the oceans full of plastic. You know, he's experimenting on the animals, torturing them, experimenting on human beings. You know, he's pushing a wicked vibration that is anti-Hamashiach throughout the planet Earth. The white man actually said that there is no God. Esau's the one that came up with that philosophy, man. You see? Before the so-called white man, you know, there was no concept of, you know, there is no God. Okay? You know, every nation, you know, even as bugged out as they were, you know, worshiping multiple gods, you know, they still understood that there's a higher power. The white man came and said, no, there is no God. You know, basically that I'm God. Okay, that's why he opposes and exalted himself above all that is the Most High. And then he even went to the extent to show himself that he is the Most High during the Renaissance, when, you know, he went over, you know, and you know, he painted himself as God. Okay, white Christ, you know, white God, white angels. You know what I'm saying? And he pushed that vibration even when he did the movies. You know, Exodus, when, you know, every character in that movie was a so-called white person. You know what I'm saying? You know, Pharaoh was white, Moses was white, the Egyptians was white. Okay, even though that's completely false and historically inaccurate, okay, this is what this man has done. Even when you go to, you know, so-called European history, you know, during the Dark Ages, okay, dark people rule. But, you know, Esau, when he came back into power, the late 1400s, 1500s, you know, he went in and he actually painted over the faces of the dark monarchs of Europe and put himself in that place. So this is what he has done. Okay, he has perverted history. He has pushed lies across the whole of the planet Earth. And even when you look into what they're doing in Israel right now, they genociding them people over land and resources. Okay, Netanyahu, he actually said that Israel must control the whole of the Middle East. And they're going to do that by waging these wars. That's why they're trying to get up against Iran right now. You know, they're trying to go hardcore against Iran and their proxies, you know, because this is what they got to do to get what they want. Reading on, verse 5, "Remember ye not that when I was with you I told you these things? And now ye know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time." So right now, okay, these parasitical deviant breed of people are being revealed in their time. Okay, the world is seeing them for who they truly are and always have been. Verse 7, "For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let, until he be taken out of the way, and then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming." Job 9:24, the earth has been given into the hand of the wicked, which we already know who that is, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, the mystery of iniquity was already working at the time of Yahweh Shai, whom the world called Christ. Because what? The Romans were in power. Okay, and you also had the false image of the Messiah going around, Serapis Christus, Semiramis, you know what I'm saying? And many other deities that they upholded, you know what I'm saying, until the time where the Romans fell. Then they came back during the Renaissance period. And now what we're living in is the rebirth of the ancient Roman Empire. This is the second leg of Rome. Okay? And who rules over this? It's the Edomites. A senior BBC employee described white people as, quote, a barbaric, bloodthirsty, rapacious, murderous, genocidal, thieving, parasitical, deviant breed. And once again, when you look at their track record, when you look at their history, this is all that is filled with. You can't deny this. Okay? Anyone that has any knowledge of history and world events, how did they get America? How did they get Australia? How did they get Europe? How did they go into Africa during the 17 and 1800s and divide up the land between all these European nations? How did they take South America? Second Habakkuk 2:5 says what? He is as death and cannot be satisfied. And of course, it was prophesied in Genesis 27 that Esau would have what? The fatness of the earth. Then you read it in Revelation where it talks about the red horse. Okay, which that red horse and the pale horse, that represents Esau Edom, the so-called white man. Okay, because he went throughout the earth and was given a great sword. Okay, Genesis 27 and about 39 says that Esau would live by the sword, man. Okay, so he is lived by the sword. You know, he is as death and cannot be satisfied, and is gone throughout the four corners of the earth, raping, robbing, murdering, pillaging, stealing people's identities, and ultimately because he's what? He's a fugitive and a vagabond. Okay, Esau, he is that spiritual reincarnation of Cain after the flood. All right. This is why every land that he goes to, he destroys the people. He takes on their culture, and then he calls the land after his own name. Okay, because he has to hide his identity, and he's a vagabond. He just wander all over the earth. You know what I'm saying? This man don't have a home. Really, his home is in Mount Seir. But the Lord destroyed them out of there a long time ago. So now they just wandering around. Committing all kind of wickedness and evil. It says while also calling the UK a bigoted country. It says here, Dawn Cueva, who is a scheduling coordinator at BBC 3, made the comments on her Facebook page. It is unclear whether they were made before or after she was hired by the BBC, which appears to have done no checks on her background. While Cueva appears to vehemently hate white people, that didn't stop her living in the UK, a country she branded, quote, bigoted and genocidal, while also referring to Britain as the UKKK, a reference to the Ku Klux Klan. And you can't say that she said nothing wrong. You see? You can't say that she said nothing wrong, man. And she could be a Jake. But, she looked like she's an Elamite. But hey, who knows? Shorty might be a Jake, man. Yeah, it says, wow. Okay, Slack here. Yeah, Dawn Cueva. She also called the JOOs Nazi apartheid parasites that funded a holla hoax. You can't make this up, man. Okay? Yo, the cat is out the bag. The truth is out, man. These devils are being revealed. As the scriptures say, they can't hide themselves. They just being exposed heavily on all fronts. They can't put on this facade like, they're the, beacon of righteousness no more. No, you're the wicked of the earth, and the whole earth is calling you out. And really, it's the spirit of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua that's on these people to be drilling you like that. Okay, Miss Cueva's posts were made under the name of Dawn Las Cuevas Allen on Facebook, but it has the same profile picture as her regular profile. Okay, So yeah, she straight up said, listen, man, these people are inherently evil. Okay, these people are really, what she's saying in a nutshell is that white people, white people is is the problem, is the reason why the earth is in the state that it's in. Okay. Yeah, and these people are the vessels of wrath fitted for destruction, man. Romans 9:22. Matter of fact, let me start at 21. It says, hath not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor? Now what vessel was made unto honor? The vessel that was made unto honor are the Israelites, the 12 tribes of Israel. And the vessels that were made unto dishonor are the Edomites. Okay? The so-called white people, which they're really red. You see? It says, what if Yahweh, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endured with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction? So he's, the Lord has been enduring these damn devils for a very long time. But, this is the set time now to where he's not going to endure them any longer. Okay, before he destroyed them, he's going to expose them as the wicked, as the devil. Okay, that the Bible speaks of. All right. Yeah, and the thing about it is, both of these vessels, man, they was taken from the same lump. Let me read up in verse 20. It says, nay, but O man, who art thou that repliest against Yahweh? Shall the thing formed say to him that formed it, why hast thou made me thus? Yeah, so Esau, his whole thing is, well, hey Lord, well, you made me to be the wicked. Okay, you made me to be the vessel of wrath fitted for destruction. So how could you be mad at me for what I'm doing? But what the scriptures say, it says, verse 21, has not the power over the clay of the same lump? Okay, so yeah, Esau and Jacob was taken from the same lump. They came from the same mother and father. They was twins. Okay, so they was taken from the same lump. But the Lord made one unto honor and the other unto dishonor. It is what it is. That's just how the Lord wanted it to be, man. Okay. And let's move on to this last one here. We can close out. And this is just, more proof that these people are what that senior BBC employee said in the last article. Okay. Devilish deviants, man. Democrats to introduce pet tax for citizens who refuse to euthanize their healthy pets. And Klaus Schwab, he said, what? You shall own nothing and you will be happy. So you will literally own nothing. See, you won't even be able to own a dog. If you have a healthy animal that you love and that you take care of, they're going to tell you, hey, you got to put him down. And if you don't, we're going to tax you. So this is indeed the vessels of wrath fitted for destruction. Okay, this is who these people are, man. They are set up to create hell on earth for every living being. Democrats have announced plans to introduce an expensive pet tax for citizens who refuse to euthanize their healthy pets as part of the WEF's net zero agenda. Last year, the WEF urged governments around the world, including America, to begin slaughtering millions of cats and dogs in an effort to reduce the carbon paw print they produce as a result of eating meat. Now, Democrats have introduced Bill HB 24-1163, which requires all pet owners to register their animals in a state-run system with fees that critics are calling exorbitant and unnecessary. So they want to make it so hard for you to have a pet with these taxes that you'll just be like, you know what, it's too expensive. I'm not gonna have a dog. I'm not gonna have a cat. I ain't gonna have no pets because I can't afford it. And this goes into the whole thing of inflation and shrinkflation and all of that. Okay, destroying this economy, devaluing the dollar. The idea behind the fees is to discourage pet ownership and force most pet owners to euthanize their pets to avoid paying the tax. Well, there you go. There you go, man. This is completely wicked. So you see that life cannot flourish under the rulership of the devil. Okay, life cannot live to its full extent. Really, this being under the rulership of Esau, this is not life, man. This is not living. You pretty much just exist in a vacuum of just hellish conditions 24/7. Like you wake up and you catching hell. The proposed pet animal registration system under the Pet Animal Registration Act stipulates annual registration for pets with a sliding scale of fees that seems to punish those without the means to pay. At $8.50 for pets with a designated caregiver, $16 for unneutered or unspayed pets with a caregiver, and a hefty $25 for pets without a caregiver. The financial burden could be significant for multi-pet households, not to mention breeders and sellers who may face the tax for each animal over 6 months old in their care. Okay, so you get the point. These harsh, unrighteous decrees are being forced down people's throat. And with Esau, it's either you're going to get down or you're going to lay down. You see? That's what it is, man. But look, we can close out on this scripture. Okay, this is Ecclesiasticus or Sirach, chapter 10 and verse 3. It says, "An unwise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited." Verse 4, "The power of the Lord is the power of the earth, Slakia, is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable." Okay, and clearly Esau, Edom, he is an unwise king. Okay, because he's destroying and vexing his own people with these ridiculous and unrighteous decrees. Okay, he's putting innocent animals to death because of his net zero agenda. And to him, this is justified. To Esau, this is a good thing. Again, woe unto them who call good evil and evil good, who put sweet for bitter and bitter for sweet. Okay, and guess what? This devil's rulership, his reign of terror on the earth, is coming to an end. And as it says in verse 4, that in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. Okay, Esau is not profitable to the earth, man. You see, Esau, the way that he rules over the earth, it's not profitable. Okay, it's not even profitable to his own Edomite kind. It's not profiting anybody to be living under the rulership of the devil. Okay, because all you have is vexation of spirit. A lot of people in this time now, they just offing themselves because life is like, what is the point to live? Again, this is not life. This is why we look forward to the kingdom of heaven, where we can actually have life and have it more abundantly, have eternal life. Okay, well, we're not going to have to breathe in chemtrails. We're not going to have to drink contaminated water. You see, we're not going to have to live amongst these damn devils, man. See, we're going to rule over them, and the earth is going to be in a much better case under the rulership of the Israelites. Okay, even the heathen nations, they're going to rejoice at the downfall of Esau, Edom. See, so I'm going to go ahead and end this lesson here. Hopefully this was edifying and informative through the Ruach HaKodesh. And until next time, Lord willing, shalom to the elect.